I want you to know before we begin that I cannot stand the sight of you.
You are too kind, milady.
And your countenance does turn my stomach as if upon rocky seas.
Well, I wouldn't want to be dishonest in my appreciation of your attempt to improve your looks and your weeds for me.
Pray, tell.
What paint could paste over such cracks?
You mock my small efforts in vain. I rise above insult to my person. Raised as I was, unvalued, I do not mind any man.
And I mind every woman.
Indeed, I have heard much of your little-known exploits. Much of your minding keeps the gossips in good cheek.
I would fain here to be modest.
It doesn't suit your faces.
Shall we drink then? Of some wine?
I thank you. I'll serve my own.
Come now. Do you fear I might take both liberty and advantage if you drink my wine and my cup?
You mistake yourself. I prefer it red.
So I can see.
And I'm not afraid of you. I've loved far worse in my time, and your crimes pale a little in the face of mine.
I can see you have studied my deeds most closely for one not so intrigued.
Being thief of jewel and honour doesn't match crown and country.
Yet here you are, sitting in my net.
And yet here we are. I am caught. By this need to win, by this relentless intent to woo the unattainable.
Everyone everywhere has a price.
The point to which they will break.
It is just so.
Tell me then, why are you here trading insults with this cracked me?
I was perhaps too hasty in wit over your face and dress. But what else could I say upon your disgust?
It was not to be a personal slight.
You reported I made you sick.
Everyone does. I do not truly like anyone but myself. Does this seem so strange to you? Be honest in your answer as I have been in my disclose.
Not so strange that I shall perhaps think on another glass of wine.
Would you consider this colour?
You would share with me, but you would not share in mine.
I shall do what I can when I want.
Did that work out well for you in your life?
I was left miserable and wretched.
So I did here.
But no, it did work for a time. And oh, I have sworn never to return to snivelling to others' whims and wants. Not me, ever. I just take.
And drink.
Not that it mattered. War comes down to armies and men, as does history.
What by this do you mean?
Tell me, do you ever feel forgotten?
Frequently. In this conversation.
My very crimes were reduced to spite.
No queen defending her birthright, but a daughter grabbing at crown.
I am thought thus, shallow in motives, reduced to a twisted and bitter crow.
You, my queen, are by no measure old.
But I am contorted in my grief and hatred, and I am dark inside of soul.
I can see that, and it shines as if night.
What then, for we two, who to lie is as part of nature as is to breathe?
One truth, one confession each, a wager, if you would term it so.
I am not so foolish as to wager anything with a man such as you.
Shall I then begin?
No, let me. I shall not be as if ashamed.
I would not have you ever be.
I confess. I lied to my father because I could no longer bear to be kind to his face. You find great mirth at my truth.
That is quite the meanest confession I have ever heard upon a first meeting.
That last rose-laden lie left me cold and with half a kingdom to my name.
Well worth the falseness then, my queen.
I do not regret any part in my disgrace.
Nor should you have to.
He was repulsive in his simpering and love for my good sister. I would never be as fair in his eyes, so why be fair when you can win?
Indeed. I sit here in admiration.
It's not time for you to tell your own truth?
I would much rather continue with this talk of your raw honesty.
If you do not deliver on your promise, I will leave your scrawny half-soul howling into the endless void.
I see.
I am no good woman. Now get your lips, lungs, and tongue dancing, or I shall cut them and move them myself.
I feel in need of another drink.
Now, where were we? You were going to make good this bargain.
I confess. That I did lie to friends and foes alike, for it made me feel alive inside.
And what now? What do you feel?
Empty of much else but wine and regret.
But you did once relish in your daring cunning, now so unworthy of its infamy.
I did delight in my cruel plots and destruction of others' lives, yes. But war did come and shred my courage.
Little wonder you're now forgotten by the foolish ideals of love and victory.
The horror overwhelmed my senses.
And pushed you into a remorseful man.
What man would not admit defeat to save his own skin being worn as cloak?
War defeated us both. Rest well. I feel your soul hides darker shades.
Are we still then being here so honest?
Not now, not tonight, it's late.
Too late for such sweetest of lies.
Do not pretend at sweet dreams, man, when you lust after nightmares.
We then shall meet again?
You question much for one so confident in themselves.
Do not leave without answer.
Surely we are not people so in need of such neat endings and fond farewell.
Your eyes still then despise me so.
It is a lie that a princess might tell a villain. I want you to
Oh shit, that's a blooper.
and I tucked my hair by my ears, which fucks continuity.
You are too kind, my lady.
Oh God, sorry. My hair in my head. My hair.
Maybe take that one again. So just...
You're not rolling, are you?
Yeah, I was. Of course I was.
Good, good.
Find the candle. Find the candle.